The timer is down. We are ready to go. I've got to do a little bit more setup, so I'm going to let Andrew talk. I know he's looking at cameras, so he wants to look as gorgeous as me. But yeah, he knows he needs to get a better camera first. But Andrew, what are we planning to do today?
Well, we're going to carry on working on our little platform, I guess. It started as being a quiz platform. We've got bigger plans for it as always with now. So we're going to try and make it into a bit more of an API type system where we can build multiple games into it. But we're still going to focus on putting our quiz stuff together. So if anyone is joining us and hasn't seen what we do on a Friday evening, we run a little sort of tech pub quiz. So feel free to join us this evening for that. That will be about 9 o'clock UK time. That's 9 p.m., not 9 morning. Yeah, so we'll be doing that this evening. But we're going to be just doing some coding for about, what, an hour and a bit?
Probably about an hour. We'll,
We
we'll
did plan to
gently
start a
ease
little
in.
earlier. Yeah, we had planned to start a little earlier. We're going to do this every day over the weekend. So we've got a long weekend coming. So today we're kind of getting ourselves back up and running with it all. Then we'll do a session tomorrow, Sunday, Monday. We'll be starting about an hour earlier and finishing about the same sort of time. So yeah, hopefully, if Eddie's sharing the code properly, and I can't see it. Why
Why
can't I
can't you
see
see
the code
it?
properly, Eddie? Let me try and open it again. Maybe the link didn't work the first time round. Right, we're using VS Code's live share,
We'll make
and
it bigger.
generally it should mean that I can edit the code that is on Eddie's screen right behind him. But VS Code is
npm
misbehaving for me at the
start.
minute. Okay, come on. Open. Let's try again. So hopefully, yes, connect. Ooh, okay. Just lost my login. That might be why. Login with GitHub. Oh, always little tech issues every time you get started on one of these things, isn't there?
It's all part of the fun, though. That's why also why everyone's not everyone does it, because it is hard, takes time. And why didn't that work? Oh, I was trying to start the application. I've got to go into the right. This is our project, and I will share a link to the GitHub project in a second. But also, one thing I've noticed, that you need to navigate into the right directory. So hosting is our front end. So we'll do an npm start just to boot up the front end. And also, if I bring up the project on GitHub Code Mortals quiz platform. This is it, and I will share that in the chat. Any ideas, questions, if you had a login issue, let us know in the chat. This is what we've done so far. And we should actually deploy it, right? So we should actually get it deployed so people can have a look at what we've got so far in the real time data.
Yeah, that's on our plans. I think we want to change how we're doing. Well, yeah, we can probably do it. It doesn't matter if we have to fiddle around with a few things. We're still in the pre-alpha development phase, so
Let me
we might
make
have
this a
got
bit
the
bigger.
database point, but
Yeah, that's fine. If we drop it, let's make this a bit bigger. And we wanted to deploy. So we'll need some CI, deploy using GitHub Actions.
host a share server. Yes. Okay, cool. I've got it. I'm in. All
Cool.
right. So I think we were going to try and add some Firebase auth on, but should we want to do deployments first?
I think we
Set
should just
up a
deploy that
CI server.
first. Let's do
We
it.
can set
That's
up
what
a
it looks
CI.
like at the moment. There we go. That's what we've got at the moment. Yeah, let's set up CI. So what to remember is to set up GitHub Actions is really quite straightforward. Must remember not to show lots of credentials though. So if we go to Actions first, you can pick a default one, but we'll probably just pick a blank one. I think what we did last time, right? Set up your own workflow.
Yeah, you just use the simple workflow if you want, or create your own.
Yeah, I can
Either
just probably
way.
just pick a node one. Can we have a look? Does it show us? Oh yeah, this is it. So We don't need different versions, so we can always remove that. We do want it on a specific branch, so that's pretty good. And then these are the steps to take. I know we'll just start off with that. I know there are cleaner things we can do later on, but let's
Yeah,
start with
Node.js
that.
is a good call, I think.
So
The
the
master
name,
branch, yeah, we're calling
it's probably just,
it.
well, yeah, when you do a push or a pull request to master, that makes sense. Runs on Ubuntu latest. I don't think we need a strategy and run different versions of Node. I think we can keep that pretty straightforward. Steps, check out the code. It's saying use Node because of the matrix. I don't think we need that though. That
You
one we
just
probably
deleted the
don't.
matrix stuff.
Yeah,
Do you
so I
still
think we
need
don't.
the? Okay, all right.
Which one were you asking? Sorry, go on.
Right, I can't see because it's behind your head slightly. But
Oh, that's really stupid. You're right. Yes, let me make this not full screen then, and then maybe here. Yeah, other people will have that issue too, right? So,
yeah,
let
that's the
me,
useful thing that I can see what you can see and what the stream sees.
yeah.
But yeah, I was just checking. You don't need to still tell it that second line there that says uses action setup node
I think you need
because
uses
what point of
checkout because that checkouts the code.
yeah, but what tells it that we're using node as the it's got runs on Ubuntu latest, yeah. What
Yeah,
tells it that node needs to be installed?
good question. How did I do it on mine? Can't remember. It's been so long.
If in doubt, check something you've done before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do need that action setup node. Yeah, I thought you might.
Okay, so you do need
But then with
this.
what version? So yeah, grab all that. 10x, that sounds good. I think we're hosting with version 10
Why can't I
on
scroll?
Firebase, right?
Oh, that's better. Why can't I scroll?
So
Scroll's
Firebase we
broken.
use version 10 too.
I think I've broken it by resizing it.
Really?
If I go back and come again, does that work? Oh, why can't I scroll? Okay, looks like we're gonna go back a page. I can scroll on the useless bit on the side. If I stay on page, I can scroll here, but I can't scroll on the actually important part that I want. I think I found a bug
I was going to
with
say, is that a
GitHub.
bug with GitHub or just a browser issue?
Don't know. Let's start again. Yeah, that's better. I can scroll again.
Yeah, not
So
something to do with the browser resizing, but I'm sure GitHub could have hooked into something there.
deploy to production. Um, we'll just do the
Yeah,
master,
we don't
and
need
we
the matrix.
don't need that matrix.
I
And
think
then
you
we
can
will.
keep the name, but just change the bit in brackets. So keep that block.
Okay.
All you want to do is change the node version to be the node version we're using. Yeah, delete that part because we're not putting a message out. And then the node version, we need to specify what version we're using, right? Which is 10.x. Yeah, like that. Kids are playing in the background.
Um, okay. Then npm CI. npm CI is that you have to would have to run npm run CI. I don't know how that would work.
Well, if we had a command called npm CI, then that would be fine. Oh, yeah, it
No,
should be a
but you would
run,
need
right?
run though, because it's only
Normally
test,
you should have,
test,
unless,
build, and start. Right? There's only like two or three that are special.
yeah, but I was just wondering, maybe CI now is special as well. I've not kept an
Oh,
eye on
okay.
what they've changed. Perhaps that is now a special one. I'm going to go and have a quick look. So Node package manager scripts.
It's all about learning all the time, right?
Yeah, it's good to update your knowledge. Things change all the time.
What else? Okay, so I've got that. The steps we'll want to do. We haven't got a CI step anyway. We'll have to add something in. Let's have a look. What have we got in our package, Jason? We will need to do deploy the back end and the front end. So we will need a couple of steps. Let me minimize this node modules because it's huge. And then this is in function, so we'll need to deploy this as well. So what we would need to do is just do npm run deploy. We don't need to start it. Probably need to. I wonder if the deploy builds it. I think it builds it first. So if we go back to here, we could go. First thing we probably want to do is.
Okay, I figured out what it is.
Go on.
It's npm c and I. So it's like normally we do npm I, right? Do install dependencies. C is like a clean up first. So
Right, so it's not CIs and continuous integration. Okay, got you.
yeah, it's a good way to confuse you.
That was a bit
Normally you'd expect a
confusing.
space or something in there. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. Or at least they did it the other way around, right? If they did I and then C, you wouldn't think that it was
Yeah,
a job or something.
but that's not the flow it runs through, right? First of all, do a
Oh,
clean, then do an install. So it does make sense. It's just, yeah, they could have named that better.
yeah. Or use the full words because right, I is short for install, so they could have done clean. I suppose they could have done something like this: clean space install, maybe, and that would be easier to read. I think the CI is confusing. Right, so let's
Well,
should we deploy.
it'd actually be clean hyphen install is the correct thing. So
Right,
you could
okay.
do clean hyphen install, but CI is the shortened version of clean hyphen install.
Right, okay, got you. Yeah, I could submit
Okay.
a pull request to that template. So the first thing we do first probably is deploy the functions, right? So we want to do npm, and we need to navigate. And we think, how did I do this in mind to navigate? I just did use the brackets and then cd. It's not the cleanest way. We might want two different jobs, but let's get it working and then we can then tidy it up, I suppose, afterwards. So we go cd functions. But I'm keen to have,
I don't know you want to do that. You should be
no?
able to do it straight from the. So in the what have we got in our root package, Jason? We should have Firebase tools in our root package, Jason, for the project.
Let's have a look. No, I don't think we have anything in the root. We have Firebase, config rc JSON, but there's no package JSON, so we can't run npm commands. We could run the Firebase commands though, if we install it.
Yeah. So if you had root in the if we had a root package, Jason,
Yeah, I don't like that though.
then you can just run Firebase and it figures out Firebase functions. It figures out where it all is because we've got the correct structure. That's the correct way of doing it.
But then you've got a package for no reason, right? You could just run the Firebase commands though. You don't need the package.json in there.
I don't know. I'd be tempted to put it in there.
You could. What is going on? Sorry, one second. I think my dad has just discovered Zoom, and it said, um, "I rang to tell you to invite you to a Zoom meeting, but you've missed my chance. You missed your chance, and never going to do it again." Oh, okay. Um,
Your dad's gave you a one-off chance to talk on Zoom, did
yeah, but I speak to like him on FaceTime like every other day anyway. I don't know why all of a sudden Zoom's like this new exciting thing. He's obviously just discovered it. Yes,
he?
because with the Firebase commands, right? If you've got Firebase CLI, you could just use those directly. Because the npm is just going to wrap the Firebase commands anyway.
Yeah, I just think it's cleaner to not have it all muddled around everywhere.
But like, let me get an
We
example,
can
right?
change it later.
If I did say deploy, I don't know, where is it? Yeah, so if we did, for example, that's delete. I don't want delete. I want deploy. Yes, if we did Firebase deploy, it just seems strange to have a package file just to say Firebase deploy, which will, yeah, just run that. I don't know. It's going in the CI config anyway, so it's not like it's going somewhere else. Let's get it working. We can tidy it up. I still think we need to split up front end and back end into two different workflows, but again, we'll get that. This is called
But bear in mind,
Node.js.
Firebase, if you split them up into two separate things, Firebase deployments will be out of sync temporarily. If you do them all from one place, Firebase keeps everything in sync when the latest version goes live.
No, but it still deploys front end and back end separately.
Yeah, but I believe it knows that it's got it all, so it doesn't activate it
Oh, okay. Well,
until everything's completed.
we can keep it we can keep it in one place. I'll call it production. Okay, we can keep it in one place. Let's get it working and then we can see how it looks. So the first thing first we want to do, as we saw from here, is we should just run Firebase deploy, right? That should deploy front end and back end and everything. That's all we need, right? Pretty sure that will do everything it needs. It should deploy everything then. Let's just try it. Are you feeling lucky? That's
Sorry,
actually
I
how.
muted myself. You're going to need a token on there as well
Oh
for
yes.
otherwise it have authentication. So you need to do that in another window off the screen. You need to
Yeah.
generate a token to a Firebase login :CI on another screen. So on terminal,
Yeah, and also need to put
unless
in
you want me
the.
to do that, I could always do that if you want and put that into GitHub for you.
Yeah, just do that, and then I can just show people where it would go. In settings, it would go under secrets. There's a section here, and you just add new secret and you put it there. So Andrew will do that, and then I can then reference it.
So go to quiz platform settings, secrets, and then we can generate a secret. So I'm just trying to think, should we use an existing one rather than creating a new one?
And then I just remember how to use it. Here we go. This is how you use them. We'll get the name from Andrew, and we will do. I will check the documentation to put a token in. We want to deploy everything, so we won't do only. This is probably quite small, and make it a bit bigger. We won't want to do those, but we will want to add a token to it, and I think. Let me see. Token. It's just hyphen token. Yeah, no, you do it.
Now.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm just knowing how to include it. So I want token, and then with token is a space in the token value, and then Andrew will tell me what it is. But I go secrets.firebase. Therefore, when Andrew adds it to the private section, this should then pick it up and be able to deploy it. Go. If anyone has any questions, don't forget to write it in the chat and we will try to answer.
Okay, I've added the token. It's just called Firebase _token.
Firebase _token. Okay.
Yeah, so in capitals as well as its environment variable.
Firebase _token. Okay. Ready to go? You happy with that? That looks good.
Do we need to, so that's going to do front end and back end, right?
It should do everything.
We need a build first, don't we? We need to do a build.
No, I think it does it all itself.
I don't think it does for Angular.
Oh, not for Angular. Yes.
It will look in the right folder, I think. I'm going to need to open the live share. It didn't quite connect properly. Do that. It connected and let me access your terminal, but can't see the code.
I think actually we will want to. What we want to do. Yeah, we will want to build. I'm just looking at my GitHub Actions, and we will want to. Oh, we'll need to install Firebase as well.
Yeah, so.
I'll add that on.
Oh, but you're not you're doing that because you haven't got a package JSON, aren't you? So you're installing it globally. I suppose you can do that, and you don't need the package JSON. Yeah.
Oops, watch that up. Don't need that multiple lines. One line is fine. So, is that
And
going
then
to
you're going
work?
to need another one. So you're going to need another one to do the build itself. So I don't even want to have a name for build.
Do you have to have names? I think you do, don't you?
Well, you got one above for deploy.
Then you have to make a multiple then by doing this, I think. Like that. If you don't want a name
Yeah.
for each one, you have to do something like this.
Yeah, so do something like that would make sense.
I think that's it. That's how I did it in mine, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. And then you can do another name for build above deploy.
Yeah, that's true.
Checking the Firebase JSON settings. I'm not seeing where it's set up.
Oh, Run doesn't have a hyphen. Why doesn't it have a hyphen on there?
It, Not sure if that's quite right. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, there is a slight discrepancy on Firebase JSON, which needs fixing.
Okay.
Because at the moment it's going to try and deploy out the entire hosting folder. So yeah, you need to do the build. So let's sort the build out first. So that should say, now this is where you will need to do a CD first. So it'll be a multi-line piece, so pipe, and then CD into her hosting. And then it should be just an npm run build. I think that's the default build is the production one, right? Let me have a quick look. Package JSON. Yeah, so npm run build should create the files. Although, I say that we haven't tried this yet because, well, we've got two parts, right? We've created a library for the brand element. It might work. You have to try it locally. Can you do an npm run build on your local machine?
Yeah.
We might hit some of the problems you've had in the last couple of days. I know you don't want to hear me say that.
No. So it'll be funny though. Right. So we CD'd into hosting, and then you said npm run
do an
build.
npm run build here. Just make sure we get a good build.
And what is run build doing? Let's have a quick look. If I open package JSON for everyone to see, npm run build is going to run ng build. Looks right. There's a couple of warnings.
Okay,
Quiz
it's created
services.
it into a disk folder.
Let's check.
If you have a look, I can have a look as well.
There is a disk folder. Yeah. Worked.
Okay.
You didn't have the prod flag on though.
You shouldn't need the prod flag. It should do that by default. But you can put it there. It's no harm.
Let's put it there. Let's be extra precise. I'm pretty sure. I thought it depends what you have in your config there, right? Yep, same. It worked. You're right. It's exactly the same.
Cool. Okay, so well, I'll say it should be all right. you haven't got a way of actually confirming that it is right. But let's assume it will. If it breaks on Firebase, it's not a big deal. This is our first deploy, so
Let's do it.
very rare things work first time, no matter how many
Exactly.
years you've been doing this.
So that should be a push to master, so that should trigger a build. Oh, it failed straight away.
Right, it will fail. Oh, well, okay.
Only actions
Only
in
action.
code mortals are allowed in this repository.
That's an
That's
interesting
an
message.
interesting one.
There is a fix. There is still a change you need to make in the actual Firebase JSON file as well. You need to set the line 13. I can do it
Okay,
for you. I'm on there now. Forward
I
slash.
can pull it down and then we can change it here for everyone to see. Let's do a git pull.
You have some local changes it might get upset by.
No, I have nothing. I checked before we
But you've got the
started.
dash prod for starters.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's okay. I didn't change those files. There you go. I have it locally. So in GitHub, we have production. Here we go. So if you want to make your changes, we can see them.
You okay? Yeah. Well, it's not a change in there. It was a change in Firebase JSON. If you open up the Firebase JSON file.
Oh, got you.
So yeah, just there. I had to add
Right.
/dist so it knows what the folder is that it's hosting up. And it's
Makes
the dist
sense.
folder is the one we want hosting up. Otherwise, the default it put in was the full hosting file because it assumes it's just a static website, right?
Yeah, so what it was doing
Which would be
before
easy.
was hosting. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. And then,
And then yeah, we need to figure out why GitHub Actions doesn't seem to be working on GitHub. That's an interesting one.
I'll just remove the quotes because that won't make sense. I haven't seen that error before. Solved, workaround,
No.
action not allowed.
Only actions in code mortals are allowed for this repository. They are in code mortals.
Oh, I know why. I had to change this as well. See, that's why having terrible memory sucks. In here, you have to allow actions on. Enable local actions only for this repository.
That's right, though, isn't it? It is a
That's
local
right,
action.
though. Yeah. My job triggers on push and pull, which we do. The settings are as stated, however, I still receive the message in case. But that says it's the solution. Oh, there's a message at the top. In case it's only allowed to run actions within your repository or organization. Please change the actions of your repository. That is correct.
It says as long as the code for the action exists in the same repository.
Yeah, because I'm not. We did say pull request, so that might be an issue, but we can worry about later on. That's new. Well, let me just disable it. I want to re-enable it. And can I rerun it? Well, we should push up that change anyway of yours, right?
Yeah, push that change up because you're going to need that anyway because it's not going to work otherwise.
Yeah. I think it might fail from here. It might
Just
fail on the
once.
command line. Let's see. So this was I guess a bug. Was it? What they call it? A fix. And then it was for Firebase. And then we can say hosting dist path. Will it work from here? It doesn't work because I have to type in my password. It's so annoying. Git commit Firebase. Oops, damn it. Don't have an issue number, but it's fine.
Can't want internet.
Okay, let's see what GitHub says this time. Failed again immediately. Unnamed workflow. Why is it unnamed? I gave it a name.
I'm just looking at the moment.
I don't remember. I can check
Someone
my repository and see what I did for mine. I know I've got loads of
I'm not sure
third-party stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean that's what people are saying. You need to tell them the third-party stuff, but
Yeah,
I'm
because
not
I
sure
have
why you would need.
I have other things running. I'm pretty sure I have some of the other plugins I've added that run actions. I can even check. No, just ours, just those workflows actually. This option is disabled for all repositories and code mortals. Okay. We shouldn't need it though.
You could turn it on for now, I guess. See if it's at least see if it works, and then we can figure out
True.
how to put it back.
Actions. Save. Okay. Enabled, saved. Let's could rerun that last one now. Let's have a look. Oh, how do you rerun it? Go in. Can you not rerun stuff on here? You must be able to. That's not interesting. The unnamed workflow is a bit weird as well. I don't know why that is coming up. I want to create a badge. We should put a badge, but... Oh, the workflow file associated with this workflow could not be found. That's obviously got to be the problem. The workflow file associated could not be found.
If you look in the code, I mean, it put it all in there, right? GitHub workflows, production.yaml. And that is the file it looks for, right?
Yeah, well it is, yeah, because it finds it's on push. I mean, I renamed the file, but that shouldn't be an issue. Or is it? Let's have a look. Wait.
Possibly. What's the default name it would be given?
Because you can name them to whatever you want. Because if I go into one of mine... Yes, the name file, you can give the name with everything you want in workflows.
I mean, I would have thought that it's just anything in the workflows is what it's looking for.
Yeah. Why does that work on mine but not on this one?
It's not a case there's an error in there, and that's why it's throwing that, because it's saying it can't find it because there's an error. For example, the uses actions doesn't have a... That should be okay though.
I think it would fail, it would at least run and not say, I'm not allowed for this repository. That's so weird. But then it not finding the file is even weirder. Let me just Google that as well. Solved, okay. I don't think that's going to help. God, I hate this font. Okay, where's their official docs? GitHub Actions. Let's have a look. I just want a simple one. It's the marketplace. No. GitHub Actions Docs. There we go. Getting started with GitHub Actions. Concept, using community starting a pre-configured workflow template. Configuring a workflow. Yes, you give the name that you want, and as long as it's in the workflows directory and it's got YAML extension, it doesn't care, which is what we've got, right? So YAML extension in the workflows directory, and it shouldn't care. Okay, perfect. What else? Using secret. Oh, that's the wrong one. This one. Here we go. That looks like ours. Why would it not find the file? Phew. That doesn't make any sense. One job, no artifacts generated, no annotations. GitHub Actions, what are mine called? On push. All workflows, if I just go back a page, all workflows, and it names them. Unnamed workflow, that's the weird one. Let me see. Let's compare this. Let's bring this over here. Let's put this over here. So what have we got? I've got a name, that's good. On push, branches. It's an array like that. I've done it as a dash, that's also fine. Okay. It's done on pull requests, that's fine. Jobs, build, runs on Ubuntu latest. Actions, checkout. I'm using version 1. There's a version 2, and we're using version 2. I'm guessing the checkout will just do its thing. That should be okay.
Yeah, I don't think it would be the checkout line. I was just looking at it looks like there are some things when it comes to the on push and stuff they say has changed, but I think we're on the correct version of that here.
I don't think it's not even getting that far though.
Well, you've got dash edit. Well, apparently that can be part of it. People are saying that it's that part there that can cause it.
I've got dash edit, but this is the same though, right? That's an array as well. I can change it. Yeah. And that's what they came up with as an example.
I can't imagine that's wrong. I would have thought what we're using is up to date.
I would have thought so. Let me remove pull requests. We don't need that for the moment. And then I can do that. I think it's going to make a difference, but commit fix CI changed YAML formatting. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but let's just try rule it out. So it's queued and it found the file. That is the issue. I'm glad I tried that. It's looking better.
Yeah, that is interesting, but that was the only thing I could see was someone mentioning that.
That's weird. I wouldn't have thought that was the issue, but it is. But that's in their template. I didn't change that.
I know. But that was the only thing I could see was that someone mentioned that it could be the on-push stuff that's incorrect.
Okay. So we got a failure, ng build, ng not found, obviously. So what we need to do is we need to install Angular. Did I do that? I installed Firebase tools. Oh, I did install Angular. No, it's not Angular dependencies. I must have installed.
Oh, you haven't done a full install yet, have you? Because you've got rid of that npm CI stuff. Yeah, so you need to go CD hosting, and then you need to do an npm CI in there.
True. Okay, so
and then you probably also need to go into the um, Firebase folder as well, I guess, and do an install in there.
Probably, I'm pretty sure I did that as well. Yeah, npm install in Firebase one too. So build, we can say build UI, and then I just might copy that and cheat. And then build functions, cd functions, npm
There'll be no
install.
npm build on. You won't need
I
to
think
build on that one because
I think
that one
I dr-
Firebase does run a build against.
does it?
Yeah,
Functions
Firebase knows
link.
that it needs to do a build to do that one.
Interesting. I run a build for it though. Okay. Maybe there's no
You
need.
need to.
Okay, let's find out. Let's do it. CI install. This is all going
There's
to
no
master.
config on.
By the way, all these commits are going into master. We probably want to create a branch and do it from
We
a
probably
branch.
do to clean things up. It's all right. We'll do that for the moment. We will start doing proper branching once this is working. We
Um,
certainly don't want normally be deploying every time we make a change. Well, you could.
Install function dependencies. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, so now we've got different steps, right? So I'm going to build the UI. We can see if that fails. Build functions and deploy and see what how it works. So thank you for everyone for joining, by the way. I noticed the numbers have climbed. We've got more people joining. So great to have you here. We're just setting up GitHub Actions and having some challenging fun with that, which has been quite interesting. If you have any questions, just drop it in the chat. All right, it's building the UI. It's looking promising.
Yeah, that looks good. Look at that racing through. We're on Angular 9, right? So we're getting an Ivy build.
Is this 9? I can't remember what we used. Can we check? We are using 9. Yep. Ivy, here we come. That's not a good error. That's not ours though. That's only a warning.
That's coming out of Firebase, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it failed.
Ooh, something failed.
Why did the UI fail? That was a warning. Okay. Compile, compile. Ah, yes. We will need to do some stuff around the environment. I know we can commit them, but we don't usually.
No, because we want different settings for different environments generally.
Yeah.
I can give you the stuff to put in. I've got it all here. You might need to tweak it a little bit, but this is essentially what you need.
So you're putting it into the file. Let me open it and have a look.
Oh, I can put it in the file if you want. Yeah, you've got it all pulled. You all pulled down and up to date.
Let me just do a quick pull just to make sure. Up to date now, and then we'll follow you as well.
There is a slightly interesting thing. I don't know. Does GitHub have a way of managing environments for different environment variables?
You do. Yes, I do that on mine. If I show you mine. Excuse me. There might be a better way to do this, but the way I do it on Dashboard Hub, if I can find it, did I close it? Must have closed it. GitHub, Dashboard Hub, is if I go into GitHub and then workflows. So for the different environments, I actually have a different file. So this is for Eddie, for example. I can listen out to his own branches,
Oh yeah,
and then I
yeah.
pull
Okay,
in
it's
different
not.
secrets.
Yeah. Okay, it's not as clean, so you'll end up having a massive list of secrets in one place. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
as
An
far as I
improvement
know.
there for GitHub to work on, so you can say this is for a certain environment. Use those environments variables, and they keep them all the same. Yeah. Okay. So essentially, we want to add something like this in, but that needs to happen before the build actually. So that would need to go up here. So do an
Yeah,
npm install, then we need to do a sed. I hope that there's the correct version of sed because I'm doing the one that Circle uses, what I've given us. And then into the environment file for all the prod ones, we put that. But it sounds like as well it was trying to actually use the local one, which suggests there's a config issue in the
yeah. There's
Angular
something's
JSON.
not quite right.
Um, production prod. What's Okay, I think what you've done the old school way of doing. You did dash dash prod, didn't you? Which is the old way. Oh no, you've updated. Ah no, okay, yeah. So for the build, we've got configuration develop, and for
Right.
the
Okay.
the start, we've got configuration develop. For build, we want configuration equals production. Okay, and then in the prod hosting file for environment, yeah, we're going to need to put all the correct values into that. I'm going to do here's one I did earlier session because it's quicker. So these are all the values that Firebase expects. You can save that. In fact, let me just save all of them. And then I'm going to need to put all of these values into well, actually, we need to update the production YAML because this is not the way that this does it.
Let me minimize this for
There's
now.
there's a different way of us doing that though to make it a bit cleaner. We can put up here
Oh, that's true.
this, so we can specify these, and then this should look the same as a normal environment variable then, right?
I'll have to check.
So
I
we
don't
can put all the
remember.
other ones
I'm pretty sure you can do stuff like that.
up here. Okay. Oh, hang on. No, we don't have any Google Analytics stuff on here, do we? So don't need that one. But I go to database URL. We need the. We're not using some of these features anyway from Firebase, but we'll still put everything in to
Oh
make
yeah,
sure it's all
put them in.
correct.
So if you ever need them, they are there.
Yeah. So those are all the things we need. Let me go and do that off screen to get all those values in, although they're public values anyway, because they will come through in the app when it's deployed. But let me go and do that off screen just to add the secret so I don't accidentally show something else on screen. So if you want to talk about something else for a minute, I'll go and do that.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, what we're going to talk about. So what else do we need to add to the build? Let me think. So we've got it building the UI, you've got it building the functions. We've got it then deploying. I think that's pretty good. Did I add anything to mine to do anything afterwards? I don't think so. I had a separate step for the config, but that's also okay. Deploy. I specified the project because it has access to multiple projects, so we might need to add that. But you can do that with config as well. I think that's okay. So while that's going, let's also look at the project board so we can kind of plan. So Andrew and me plan to do a live stream tomorrow as well, about the same time, actually a bit earlier than today. We're setting up time issues. I had to do my hair. And Let's have a look. So we're deploying to GitHub Actions. That's in progress at the moment. And then and we can put assigned to 2 people, I think, Andrew and Eddie. And then the next thing we want to do, we've got holding page. We're waiting for quiz. I think that might be done already, but we will see. We've got a Firebase function when an answer is submitted. I haven't done that one yet, but we've already got an example Firebase function, which was when people are registering. So this one should be quite straightforward to do. Leaderboard would be nice at the end of the quiz. We did talk about having so you can kind of like phone a friend or ask the audience actually, and the idea was you could see everyone else's results. You couldn't see like person A has selected option B, but you could say, well, 40% of people taking part have selected option B and 50% have selected option C. Therefore, you can maybe help you make a decision if you're stuck and you get 1 life. But that's for later on. That's for future stuff. For now, we are trying to keep it simple and see. So those are the ideas we've got at the moment. Firebase function, answer submitted. Got the quiz. What other ideas can we do? How are you getting on, Andrew?
Going through it, I'm just making a couple of small changes to the environment, just prefixing everything with Firebase, just in case we have other variables in the future. So I've just quickly updated those in the code.
Okay.
You see that in the prod file and the production YAML. I've literally just updated those, so everything's prefixed with Firebase.
That's fine. I should be able to deploy it manually, right? I should be able to go Firebase deploy. I haven't got a token. I'm logged in already though, so it should be okay.
Yeah, if you're logged in, you should be able to, but you still don't have all these values in there, so it won't work.
That's true, yeah.
So
My
you
brain's
still need
getting
this
too
stuff.
excited.
Yeah, just chill for a moment. Chat about what
Everyone
you do during the
chill.
week.
Everyone
What do you do? What
chill.
do you do on Monday? What do you normally do? You doing one today at 1 o'clock?
I'm planning to do a lunchtime 1 o'clock live stream on my channel. Yes, I am planning to do that. So if anyone wants to join me, it is a Friday, so it is a weekday. It is a bank holiday in the UK. So I was planning on skipping it, but I thought other countries they still are still working today. So I thought let's do it. So my plan is to finish this stream once we get this once we get this CI working, and then get ready for my next stream in 1 hour exactly, which will just be kind of like a chill chatting stream. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how many people we get on. The sun is shining today in the UK. I'm guessing we're not going to get very many people. I could do it from the garden on my phone. I don't know if that's just too out there. I'm not sure, but I could potentially do that. So yeah, I have some ideas, but I think I should still do it. Keep up that momentum and not lose it. Not lose it now. So let's see. But we need to get this working.
Yeah, I'm almost there. I just noticed they've added another field on Firebase, so I thought I'd better just add support for that as well whilst we're at it.
Okay, I think I ignored that on my project. I was just like, nah, don't need it.
Yeah, well, as you say, might as well, as we're updating it, put all the stuff that's current in there.
I know that when I get an issue in the future, I'll be like, what's missing? What's missing? And it'll be this new variable that I haven't used that'll be missing.
Yeah, it's probably optional today, and it will become required in the future.
Exactly.
Right, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2. Yeah, okay. I think I've got all the values in, and hopefully moving everything to the top, so we're declaring all our secrets up here, then we're just using as normal environment variables lower down.
Oh, wait,
Is
sorry,
a
let's follow you
slightly
there.
better way of doing it,
Yeah, it
just
looks
so we
good.
can manage them all in one. Okay, I think if you want to do a commit, fingers crossed, that will work.
Let's have a look what we've got. So we're going to commit, I think, all 3 files. Let's check. We can do a diff
Yeah.
over here in VS Code. Yeah, we need to commit that. We'll commit that, and we will commit that. And this one, yeah, we'll just add everything. Okay. Then on the command line, do git commit, and then this will work. Git commit fix CI, and we'll say envars template added. Okay, ready, set, steady, go.
Fingers crossed.
We'll see it, we can celebrate. Oh, let me go back to the tab and see. Go back to actions. It's building. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da. Come on, go, go, go. It's why is it all under build, which is quite interesting. We might have to rename these a bit. I don't know why that is under there. Okay, this is where it failed last time on this one, so let's see. But anyone watching, it's good to show you that setting up CI is easy. There are little kind of bits and pieces as you go to different CIs and as things change. But in an hour, you should be able to get CI deploying to your production environment. So that don't keep putting it off because it only gets bigger, scarier, more complex. It's good to do it from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, we've already done quite a few bits on the project, hence it's taking us a few other steps to go through as we remember things we've added, that if we'd been updating CI and had a deploy from day one, we'd have been adding them as and when. So now we're having to just remember things like, oh yes, there's some config stuff for Firebase we need here, and so forth.
It failed. Why did it fail? Skipping, warning, warning, low severity error. Doesn't say what it is though. Oh.
It can't read hosting source environment prod, no such file or directory. Interesting.
Did I not push it up?
Hosting source environments.
Hosting source environment. Let's check.
I'm not muted, am I now? Good.
No, I can hear you.
Yeah, that looks. Oh, it's because we already CD'd in that script, didn't we? Ah, okay. There's a CD in there, so actually, yeah, we can drop the hosting part from that line.
Got you.
My mistake. Slightly different flow to my script. That's why. There we go. Okay, hopefully that's it.
Commit that one.
I'm not going to say it'll work this time because there'll be something else that comes up. If I don't say it will work, it won't work. It will.
Okay, this will work. Then we'll get onto that the functions, right? And there'll be some other quirks in there.
The functions I think will work cleaner because they're simpler as such because we're using all the stuff that's built into Firebase there. Whereas
True.
Angular is the Firebase thing as such. That's just our preference for how we're building the front end is using Angular.
True.
But it's not really an Angular problem we're having right now. This is purely just config and deployment problems. Angular is doing what it needs to do.
Yeah, well, we're getting closer, right? It's just little changes, iterate, etc., and so on.
Come on, build. We've just sat here watching the screen. This is like 20% of the dev life. Certainly when you're in the early phases of a project, is spending your time watching CI and building your confidence in CI. Then all of a sudden you forget CI's there and it just starts doing things for you. But yeah, that kind of new project, spend a large amount of your time just waiting to see, will this build pass? I don't want to jump until it does. I wonder if you could probably set up some more efficiencies, right? You could probably have multiple scripts on actions working together in parallel better.
You can, yeah. You can have
But yeah,
different ones doing stuff in parallel, I suppose. I don't know if they'd
it's
work.
fine. I don't,
They probably work within their own container though, so I don't know how you'd share assets between them.
yeah, I mean, as long as the overall build is less than 5 minutes, I'm not too worried anyway. So once it starts to get to more than 5 minutes, that's when we want to think about can we split this out, make it a bit more performant. Let's see how long the whole thing takes. I think the Angular one will take about 2 minutes to do. Functions one should take about 30 seconds because there's an npm install. Then the deploy will probably take about 2 minutes as well. So yeah, we'll
Yeah,
probably get close
the
to 5 minutes for the whole thing.
building the UI and the deploy part will probably be the bigger parts. But even if it goes over 5 minutes, takes 10 minutes, it's not the end of the world, right? If it's just as long as it doesn't go more than 10 minutes, I think that's when it starts getting too painful. Oh, it failed again. Why,
What happened
why,
this time?
why? I look better. We didn't get this far before, I think. Um, why is it going?
Oh,
Cannot
why is it
find
still
mod.
looking for the local one?
Why is it still looking for local?
We've got a reference in the code somewhere. It looks like we might have a reference in the code for local. That
Oh
doesn't sound right.
yes, it does
Is
look
it something
like
you did,
some the.
Eddie?
Sorry, don't blame
Oh,
me. I think it's the auto include. Hey, I was doing the back
yeah.
end. You were doing the front end. I
It
think it's
should
the
be looking
auto
straight for
include.
environment, right?
Yeah.
It should be
Oh,
just
not that
look. It should
one.
be just looking for environment.
This one. It was me. No, actually, wait a second. I'm committing everything on your behalf, so it could have been you. I
Oh
don't know.
right, yeah.
There we go. You're right. Um, okay. That wasn't probably an auto import that did not work. That that kind of worked but didn't work. This is why you need people need CI so they know they find these problems. Not that oh it worked on my machine.
Find them sooner because
Uh,
that bit of code has been in there from almost the first session we did on this, hasn't it?
Probably. Oh, spot my name wrong. Okay, this time. I know we've been saying that last 5 times, but this time. Are
It's
you
always
feeling
tenth
lucky,
time
punk?
lucky.
Yeah. You feeling
Not
lucky,
third
punk?
time lucky with Si, it's 10th time lucky.
Look, this one worked. Look, Node install use Node.js. It's green, and set up job is green.
Well, I'm glad the GitHub's part works. That's a good start. Last thing you want is the platform you're working with to be broken, which does happen. There has been certainly times with CIs where you're there going, but everything looks good. Why is it not working? Why is it not working? You'll spend like a whole day trying to figure out what's going on, when actually there's nothing wrong at all. But the place that's hosting it hasn't put up a message to say they've got their own problems, and they don't tell you that until pretty much the end of the day when you suddenly go, ah, look, they put a status update on saying they've got issues, and that looks like the exact issue we've been fighting with all day. So that's probably the biggest downside to using a cloud CI is that sometimes they do go down. I'd say it's rare. I mean, I'm talking about that. That's probably happened 3 times in the last 5 years.
It
But
is rare, and running your own, I think you just get other problems. I think using a cloud one makes so
oh,
much more
absolutely, you waste a
sense.
hell of a lot more time running your own. It's just it would be nice to not sit there fighting some of these things sometimes for a day, thinking, I know we haven't changed anything around here. Why is it broken? It's just get that occasional frustrational day. Although you learn a lot during those days as well, because the number of things you start going off, trying out, and looking at, you learn
Yeah,
a
and
lot more
questioning
about
and so
better ways
forth.
you can be doing stuff as well. So I think they
Absolutely.
are still useful days, but they are just frustrating days.
Okay, it's compiling. We got here last
Almost
time.
there. Yeah, we're almost there. Go on. Last little bit. I'm sure it'll be fine now.
We said it last time.
So much love. The Angular part will be fine, not the whole thing.
We said that last time too.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Okay.
I suppose we're going to need to stop soon so you can get ready for your 1 p.m. stream. Let's get this
Yes.
working.
We'll get this to, if we can get this working in the next kind of 4 minutes, then we're good.
There we go. Got a tick.
It worked. It's green. We're on the next one. And that's
The next one should be
green.
quite quick. Yeah. And now this is the big one. Will this one go green? Come on. We've got the right tokens and everything, haven't we?
Hopefully.
And then we'll go to the Code Mortals website and we'll see that the Code Mortals website's now been overridden.
What? It's still deploying. So if we go to,
Oh,
what's the
yeah, it's
domain for
good.
this?
But there's functions being deployed. That looks good. I'll grab the domain for you. Hang on. It'll be on a
Oh,
generated domain.
old rules set use. I thought we were using, oh, for storage, and we're not using really storage, so that's fine. Well, not
Well, there's
really.
no
We're not
URL
using
generated
storage.
yet because we're not. This is the first deployment, so there's not yet a URL
Oh,
that's been generated.
okay,
So
got
I'll
you.
get the URL for you when the deployment finishes. In fact, it should give you back, I think, the
It
URL when it
will actually. It
deploys.
will. You're right. Okay, this is looking good.
Hosting updates, yeah. Put the storage rules in. It's found 8 files in the dist folder for hosting. It uploaded 7 out of 8, so it's the latest 7%. Oh no, okay, then there's another line that says it's complete, I guess.
Deploy complete. All green, and it should
Look
give
at
us the
that.
link. If I open
Magic.
deploy,
Hopefully it's
go
got a link there.
to
Oh,
hosting
okay, maybe not.
URL. It doesn't say. It
Okay,
used to do that
let me
though.
grab it. Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
thought it did, but
think
let me grab it.
GitHub's replacing it with 3 stars for security. Yeah, I think it is.
Here we go. I can see it there. Here we go. Let me get you the link.
Show me the money.
We can put a proper link onto this sometime soon as well. Although we might want to change the name of the whole platform, right? We're calling it Quiz
Yeah.
Platform, but we might rename the whole thing. So maybe set up a URL just yet isn't the right time. What have you got? Let me find you on Slack. Here we go. Try that. See what happens.
Page not found.
Oh, that's a good start.
I thought it worked for you.
I didn't try opening it.
Oh, no
That is interesting.
index. Oh, because no, we should be deploying. It's not under hosting, right? It should be deploying it correctly.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
look in your dist folder locally, you've got a local dist folder, right? You should have an index file in there.
Yeah, I do.
And the config. So I'm
It's
just checking the config. Config destination slash, yeah. I mean, we told it to set it up as a single page app, so it should all be set up correctly. Ooh.
interesting.
Can we see on
Okay,
the build that it created a dist folder? If you look in the build
lost the build now. Is it
on
the first one?
the I, does it tell us?
Um, this is hosting uploaded. Um,
Then build UI. That doesn't really tell us enough there.
no. Okay, well, it's something for us to debug before next time. And before tomorrow, right? We're going to stream again 10 a.m. UK time tomorrow on the same channel. So it gives us time to either look at it beforehand, but we'll be preparing for our quiz tonight at 9 p.m. UK time. Bring your techie hat to answer some techie questions. So we'll just debug it in tomorrow's live stream, 10 a.m. But we'll
Yeah,
see you
well, we
tonight
might.
for our quiz.
Yeah, it would be nice to get past this. So if I get a chance, I might see if I can just get this fixed up and finished off. We've got everything there. I mean, it's in theory, it's pretty much there, and we can tell people what it is. So I might try and see if I can fix this up this afternoon,
Okay.
so that we can be doing some coding, put some new stuff in tomorrow.
Sounds good. And we have got our quiz tonight. So we'll see you tonight. It won't be on the quiz platform, it will be pen and paper. But we will have some 4 rounds, like a picture round, maybe just like a, maybe we
Eddie's
do a
not doing the picture round
JavaScript
today, so
round.
don't worry.
They weren't that hard last time. I might do a JavaScript round and a TypeScript
Yeah, I
round.
think a coding round would be good. So yeah,
Evil plan. Awesome.
yeah.
So yeah, it'll be on this channel, and yeah, we should create that live stream soon. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Hopefully it has shown you the authentic side of being a developer, that it's not like the videos that we create or other people create where it just all works first time and is perfect, and in 5 minutes you can have a fully functional production app deployed, tested, everything else. It takes more time, and this is what the live streams are about. Why is Andrew laughing?
Well, I'm agreeing with you. It's very true. The number of times people say to me, "Oh, but when I watched this, it all just worked. Why is it not working?" Well, that's part of the learning process. Is fighting with things that don't work and no matter how many times you fight with them, different things happen every time. There's never a steady path. The basic stuff is normally good though. That's why it's always good to get these things set up early, so that you've got smaller deltas to look at the differences. So hopefully you can be a bit more focused when these things happen. I mean, we did a bit of a big bang deploy in this one because we already had the functions, we already had a front end, we're using Angular, we already chose to use Firebase. So when we're adding GitHub Actions to do it all, we've had to remember all those pieces of the puzzle, which has taken a bit longer. Whereas if the first thing we had done was said, right, let's have a GitHub action that just checks out the code, then
Yeah,
that would have been a good start. And then we could have built on that to say, right, now we need to add the Firebase functions in, let's put that in. Now we need to add the Firebase config on the front end, let's put that in. It would have been a much smoother path than going big bang with sort of 5 different things we had to think about.
absolutely. Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you later on tonight and tomorrow morning.
Cool. Okay. Have a good afternoon. Yeah. See you in what, 9 hours? Less than that.
Less than 9 hours, yeah. Better get start writing those questions.
Oh, I've got plenty of ideas for questions. Cool.
Code
All right.
Mortals out.